Hello guys, in this particular tutorial we will talk about sorting. If you wanted to arrange the elements, let's say if you have a list of integers and those integers are in order like 100 and then you have 20, 50, 57, etc. And then you have another one called 1. And if you wanted to go ahead and arrange it or sort it, then you can use this sort method in order to sort it. And the output of this particular list after sorting would be 1, then it will be 57, then it will be 100, and then it will be 240. So it'll follow how the integers are done. If you have a list of string, let's say you have a list here of strings, and let's say it has Ram, then it has Shyam, and then let's say it has Farida. So what will it do? It will look at their alphabetical order, and if you say I wanted to sort this list by using the sort method, so how will it do is it is going to go ahead and sort them in the alphabetical order. So the first thing will be F. F comes first. So it will go ahead and display Farida first. Then R comes next. So R comes next. So it's going to go ahead and display R here. And then S comes. So then it's going to go ahead and display the third element. So if you sort it, it is generally going to sort in the order, like if it's integers, it's going to go ahead and follow the same pattern. If it's a string, it's going to go ahead and do it in the alphabetical order. So similarly, let's go ahead and talk about how to use the sort method. Create an example. So let's say I am creating a list of string and it's a name of my list is colors. It's a new list. So I'm creating a brand new list of string here and I'm trying to define it right here. So instead of saying add this one by one, I'm going to go ahead and say I'm adding yellow. The next color I'm going to go ahead and add is red. And the third element I'm going to go ahead and add is green. So I have created a list which has these three elements. So now let me go ahead and display my list. I have not done any sorting so far. So my elements in my list are, if you go ahead and display, so this is my list name. So I'm going to go ahead and use this name here. And now I'm going to go ahead and say system.of_debug. And now it will display me all the elements in which I have added. So the first will be yellow, then will be red, and then will be green. So yellow, red, green. There is no sorting, nothing, because Y does not comes before R. So there is no sorting here. So now what I'm going to do is, let me go ahead and display each element. So right now what happened is, the yellow was added at index 0. So yellow went at index 0, red is at index of 1, and green is at index of 2. So let me go ahead and display each element with their indexes. So system debug color at index of 0. What is the color here? So I'm going to go ahead and say colors. Either I can use a get method or either I can use the arrow notation. So whatever you think, you can go ahead and use. So this one. Similarly, I'm going to go ahead and display all the indexes at index of 1. Here also it will change to 1. And then I have index of 2. So now what will be there at index of 0? Yellow will be there. At index of 1, it would be red. And index of 2, it would be green. So now I have added all these three elements in my list, and the name of my list is colors. There is no sorting. So far, we have not done any sorting. Now what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to go ahead and call the sort method on my list. So once I do the sort method on my list, what will it do? It will arrange them in the alphabetical order. So what will it do? The first thing would be green, the next would be red, and the last would be yellow. This is how it will sort it in the alphabetical order. So this time if I go ahead and see what will be at index 0, so it will change. They won't remain same. Now at index of 0, it would be green. At index of 1, it would be same. It will be red because red comes. And then at index of 2, it will be yellow. After the sorting, colors at index of 0 after sorting. Okay, so that's, I'm going to go ahead and display after sort what will happen. So once you call the sort method, it will arrange them in alphabetical order because it's a list of string. So let's go ahead and execute and see if it matches what we have shown. So let's go ahead and click the execute button. Go back to the debug and open our window here. So the first time it will display everything. At this particular line, it will display all the different colors that you've added to the list in the way you have added them. And then I said index of 0, it is yellow because you're not doing any sorting. At index 1, it is red. At index of 2, it is green. Now you have done the sort. Now what will happen is, since the green comes before red in the alphabetical order, so at index of 0, it will be green. Then at index of 1, it will be red. And since y is the last one, so that's why it will be at the end. So at index of 2, here it will be at index of 2, it will be yellow. So this is how the sorting works. Now, let's say you are creating a list of integers. So I will say list of integer. So yeah, I've shown you how to do the sorting on the string. So let's go ahead and create a list of integer. So let's say I'll say the name of my list is my list, new of list. It is of integer type, and I'm directly going to add the elements. I'll say 100, 34, 80, and then 79. So these are the elements I'm going to add in my list. And if I go ahead and display my list, it will say my list has following items. And I'm going to go ahead and say my list here. So what will be the output at this point of time? It will just display all the elements in the order they have been added. So the first is 100, 34, 80, and 79. So what is at index of 0? At index of 0 would be 100. So 100 would be at index of 0. Then 34 would be at index of 1. Then 80 would be at index of 2. And then it will be 79 at index of 3. So the order in which they have added, that's how these have been indexed. Right now, I haven't done any kind of sorting. I haven't done any sort. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just make sure my index position is right. So I'm going to go ahead and display each element by indexes. So I'll say element at index of 0. So what is it? So I'll say my list. Either I can use the get method or I can directly say 0 here. Similarly, I'll go ahead and display. Since I have 4 elements, I'll go up till 3. So it will be at index of 1, at index of 2, an index of 3, and here also I'll switch to 1, 2, and 3. So now I'm going to go ahead and hit the execute button. So what will happen? It will display the order in which I have added. I have not done the sorting, so let me open the code also here. So the first line, it will display all the elements the way I've added. Then at index of 0, it will be 100. Then it is at index of 1 is 34. At index of 2, it is 80. And index of 3, it is 79. So I think you're getting confused because there is no space. So let me go ahead and add some space here, and so that there's no confusion. So I'm going to go ahead and add some space. And let me execute it one more time. So this time, if you go ahead and do the debug, at index of 0, you have 100. At index of 1, you have 34. So index of 0, you have 100. At index of 1, you have 34. And then at index of 2, you have 80. And then at index of 3, you have 79. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and call the sorting on the particular list. So I'm going to go ahead and call the sort method. So in order to do that, I just have to say my list dot of sort. And since it's a list of integer, automatically it will arrange itself in the order of which is the smallest, then the largest digit, and then so forth. So now if I go ahead and display this after the sort. So here I'll say at index is 0 after sorting, and then after sort, index 2 after sort, and index 3 after sort. So what will be at index 0? After sorting, it will be 34 because 34 is the lowest number. Then you have at index of 1, it would be 79 because 79 is the second lowest number. And then you have 34, 79, then you have 80, and then it will be 100. So it has arranged them in the order from lowest to the highest number. So let's go ahead and see if our answer match. So now I'm going to go ahead and hit the execute button. So repeat here, at this point in time, it was this 100, then 34, then 80, and then it was 79. After you have called the sort method, the order has changed from the first number will be 34, next number is 79, and then it is 80, and the last number is 100. So order has been changed here. So let's go ahead and hit the execute button. If I go to the debug only and try to open my window as well. So the first time it is going to display all the elements, then 100, 34, 80 and 79, the way I have added the elements. Then it has arranged the list in the order. So the first time it will be 34, then we have done 79 after the sorting. Then it is 80 and then it is 100. So the sort method usually sort in the way if it's integer, it will range from lowest number to the highest. If it's a string, from the alphabet in the order how the alphabet appears. So the first alphabet A, B, C, D, and then the Z will be at the end. So that's how the ordering will be done.